Hi, Jen here from Jen Michelle Coaching. And today I want to talk about, is he having to protect himself from you so he can't actually protect you? This is a big question that comes up with many of the women that I support. For those of you new to my channel, I would love to invite you to subscribe. I release a video each week. So let's talk about this concept. If you are struggling in your relationship, this is the question. Is he too distracted and busy protecting himself so he can't actually step forward and lead, protect, and honor the relationship in the ways that you were deeply yearning for and craving? And this brings me to point one, which is really just taking a moment to notice what's in the relationship container. Is it polluted? Meaning, are there energetics alive between the two of you that are not supportive of thriving, of flourishing, of growing together and not seeing one another as the enemy? This is something we really want to take a look at so we can look at our behaviors and our patterns that are negatively influencing the level of connection we have with our partner. So, an example would be gossip. I love to use gossip as an example because it is an unspoken pollution that exists in the dynamic of a relationship. He can't prove if a woman is gossiping about him, but trust, he can feel it. And in that is a threat response that is activated, right? Kind of like this, I'm not safe in this. So he will have one foot over the fence kind of thing. It may come off that way. And he is in that protecting himself from you because you are not actually totally honoring, respecting, and showing up to the relationship from a place of purity and love. And he can feel that. And so he is protecting himself from you versus freeing that energy up to really protect, honor, drive, and move forward the relationship in the beautiful ways that a healthy masculine man is capable of. And so this is sort of step number one. And if you feel like I have so many things to complain about or gossip about, the invitation is to really sort of humbling yourself to see what would happen if I shifted all of this? What would happen if I really began to focus on the good, no matter how little it is? If I started to bring my attention to the good and really put my attention and focus there and see how it expands. One of my favorite Mary Oliver quotes is, attention is the beginning of devotion. And so what are we devoting to? Because this is what we are growing and building within relationship on an energetic level as feminine energy women. Number two, what is your deposit to withdraw ratio? In John Gottman's work, he talks a lot about the 5-to-1 ratio, where when he did his marriage research, there had to be sort of 5 positives for every 1 negative to really view the other person from a favorable, heartfelt, soft space. But many, many women that I talk to have a 5 negative to 1 positive ratio. And so how does that leave the other person feeling about us? And how does that leave us feeling about the other person? And so this is a great way to start to bring some of that guardedness, those walls down, and look at what they're doing right and actually bringing voice to it, like in a true devotional, grateful, heartfelt way. Like, thank you for making the coffee. Thank you for taking the trash out. Thank you for helping me with this. Whatever it may be, you're starting to bring attention to anything he does that he ultimately doesn't have to do, but is doing to make your life slightly better, no matter how small it is. Because again, it takes a while for a relationship to kind of crumble. So it's not going to be rebuilt immediately, even though our ego wants that, right? So we have to be willing to play the long game and start slow. If a boat changes a degree, I love to use this example. If a boat changes 1 degree in the beginning, it's not going to seem like much is happening. Yet you will find that over time, you will be on a different continent. And so we must be willing to slow the ego down and make these micro deposits to see what's truly possible, and to be patient and loving and gentle with him and with ourselves. And of course, I'm always talking about an overall healthy man, not a toxic or unsafe type of situation. Number 3, where can you begin to soften and observe how far away or how close you are to the woman he fell in love with in the first place? Sometimes when we first meet our partner, they meet us when we are carefree, when we are light, when we are in that maiden, playful, soft energy, right? Like the barefoot little girl without any makeup on and her sundress kind of running in the meadow, right? Like we're in that energetic, and it's so beautiful and so magnetizing. Not always, but this is an example I want to give to illustrate the point. But like we're in this soft, beautiful energy. And then over time, we take on more responsibility. We say yes when we really mean no. We put the boots on and we armor up to get the task done or to take care of responsibility. And we start to get hard, and we start to like just feel less somatically. Maybe we're a little numbed out and we're just resentful or depleted. And we don't realize that we've moved so far away from the woman that he was drawn to in the first place. And how do we begin to reconnect to her and not look at this reconnection process as a zero-sum game? Because you may be watching this and thinking, I can't do that anymore. I have a different job now, or I have kids, or I have X. But we're not looking at this as an all or nothing situation. We're looking at this as, how do I tend to myself? How do I break negative patterns that are not serving me? What little choices am I making in my free time? And are they creating a lightness or a density inside of my body? An example could be, you've got 5 minutes. Do you get on social media? Or do you choose to step outside and just feel the sunshine on your face and feel a little bit of fresh air on your skin? What choices are you making? How are they influencing you? How are they opening you? How are they softening you? Are you just maybe focused on your breath pattern? Notice your diaphragm. Is it tight, or can you expand it? This will give you a sense of how much you're in fight or flight throughout the day. So you're really looking at little shifts you can make moment to moment to break patterns that leave one treating their relationship and their life as like a means to an end, where they end up only living for the big moments, or in this energy of, prove it to me and then I'll be happy. Because this is a sneaky way where we begin to put everything on him and stop taking deep self-responsibility for our happiness. But as soon as we start taking that deep self-responsibility for our happiness, he then ironically wants to protect that and honor that and cherish that and be around that, because it's a beautiful energetic and it's cultivated from the inside out. And so this is the invitation to ask yourself with these 3 prompts. And as always, I would love to hear how this supports you in any stage of love that you're navigating right now, or any stage of just really showing up for yourself in ways that are unique to what you were taught years ago in your childhood. And as always, I release a video weekly. If you would like more information on me and what I offer, I invite you to book an introductory call at the link below. I always look forward to just taking a deep dive into your unique situation so I can offer you just deep guidance and confidence and clarity in your unique situation. So sending you all love, and see you next week.